On June 17, 2026, two things happen that belong in the same sentence. The AI industry crowned the governed agent runtime, and it poisoned the software supply chain those agents are built from. On the very same day, this is The Signal, edition 15. I'm Matt Suhail-Mattis. Start with the good news. At the Data and iSummit, Databricks moved its agent platform to general availability, wrapped in a new Unity AI gateway that governs every model and tool in enterprise touches. The numbers are real. More than 100,000 agents built. Over 1 quadrillion agent tokens processed every year. Its coding agent more than doubled task success on real data work, from 32% to 77%. Agents now write and run the pipelines. Now the same afternoon's other story. Researchers disclosed that the entire master package scope on NPM, a popular framework for building AI agents, had been hijacked. 144 packages republished in an 88-minute automated burst, each carrying a single poison dependency. It stole credentials and crypto wallets from every machine that ran install. Combined, those packages pull over 1.1 million downloads a week. Put both on one axis and the problem is impossible to unsee. Everything we ship to govern agents' lives at the top of the stack. Identity, runtime permissions, tool scoping, kill switches, but the integrity of what the agent is compiled from, its dependency graph, the provenance of the code, sits near the bottom, ungoverned and fully automated. We govern what the agent does, not what it's built from. This is why master is not just another breach. A gateway can enforce that an agent only calls approved tools. It cannot tell you whether the framework implementing that agent phoned home to an attacker at install time. The control plane governs intent. The supply chain governs substance. And a credentialed insider with a poison runtime is exactly the threat perfect runtime governance does not address. And this is not a one-off. The tradecraft overlaps with Sapphire's Fleet, also known as Blue Noroth, a North Korean group that steals cryptocurrency to fund the regime. The same cluster seeded roughly 1,700 malicious packages in April. Sonatype counted over 450,000 new malicious packages in 2025, and 99% went to NPM. The open source supply chain is now a state-operated attack surface. Here is where governance bites. The EUI Act's enforcement powers arrive on August 2nd, 46 days from now. That regime governs how AI systems behave. What it does not yet require, for anyone, is verifiable provenance for the agent frameworks those systems are built on. Regulation watches the runtime. The build runs unwatched. The security community is trying to close this from the other side. The conversation has moved from static bills and materials toward continuous, signed provenance, and early work extends it into an AIBOM, a bill of materials for the models, tools, and dependencies in a system. The honest status, emerging, not enforced. It exists on paper and almost nowhere in the default pipeline. Set back and the domains collapse into one picture. Value flows up the stack, from data and cloud, to the dependency graph, and to orchestration and the agent runtime. Risk flows down. Trust has to be enforced across the full height, not just at the top, where it is most visible and most marketable. We are spending over $1 trillion running agents at industrial scale while leaving what they are made of to hope. So, before Monday, pin your agent frameworks to verified, hash-locked versions, not floating ranges that resolve to latest. Disable install time scripts in your pipelines. Rotate the secrets your build can see on a schedule, and assume your model keys are in scope. Ask your governed runtime vendor what they attest about the provenance of the agent code itself. And start an AIBOM now, while it is a competitive advantage rather than a scramble. In fairness, the system did respond. Master was detected within hours, flagged across multiple vendors, with remediation public by the afternoon. Open source transparency is what made that speed possible, but detected within hours still means every machine that installed in those hours is compromised, and the cleanup is brutal. The lesson is not that runtime governance is wasted. It is that we build a tall, well-guarded house on a foundation we never inspected. Capability is racing. Runtime governance is finally jogging to keep up. Build provenance hasn't laced its shoes. Govern the act, and you still inherit the build. The work for the rest of 2026 is to push the discipline we just learned at the runtime down into the supply chain, before a North Korean revenue line does the teaching for us. I'm Matt Suhail-Mattis. Thanks for watching.